sorry, I didn't get your full name. Benita.
Mr. Zibi, I understand that you are the editor of the Business Day.
That's correct.
And it is my understanding that every story that goes in your newspaper, both in print as well as online, you own every weight of it.
I'm the editor, I'm responsible for it, yes.
But the ultimate responsibility is with you.
Yes.
And it's my understanding that you operate under the South African Press Code.
Tshepo, this sounds like a cross-examination. What do you want out of us?
I would like to know.
What's your complaint?
You operate under the Press Code. The South African Press Code. Is that your benchmark? Is that every story that you write in line?
Tshepo, don't come to my office and ask me obvious questions. Don't get pedantic with me. What's your complaint? What do you want out of us?
I would like to know. I'm asking you a question once
We
again.
are a newspaper in South Africa. All newspapers registered here operate under the Press Code. Now don't ask me any further questions. What's
Would
your
you
complaint? Why are
say?
here?
Would you therefore say that every story that you write is
I will
in
not,
line
Tshepo,
and
I'm
compliant?
not, Tshepo,
with the
I'm not
Press
going to
Code?
answer that question. Don't come here. Don't come here. We've been looking for you. Sam's been looking for you. In fact, I'm going to call him now. You don't tell me who sits in my meeting.
It's very good that
I'm going to call
it
Sam.
is very good that he can come, because also there's some questions that he needs to answer.
You need to
Very pertinent.
you need to answer
There's
some
some
questions for
very
us too.
pertinent questions that he needs to answer, and I would like an answer from you.
Sorry. When I
Very happy to answer. But
Sam Mugabe, yeah. Yeah, Sam Mugabe, just tell me so that the guy after him is Sam. And tell him to bring his notebook.
Okay, but my question remains.
I'm not going
Would
to
you
answer,
say?
Tshepo, I'm not going to
Would
answer
you
your question.
say?
Don't come here and undermine
Would
us,
you
please.
say that every story that you publish, and for you as an editor, you are comfortable that it complies with the requirements of the South African Press Code?
Tshepo, where are you going with this?
Soon we will find out where we're going. I would like to know again
I'm
from
afraid-
you
I'm afraid
as
this
the
conversation
editor.
is not going to go anywhere.
For
You're coming
you-
into my office.
For you as the editor
Tshepo,
of the Business Day,
Tshepo.
I would like to know, would you say that the stories that you publish, all of them, are compliant with the requirements of the Press Code, which I believe you as the editor and you as the member of the South African National Editors Forum,
No, I'm not, by
that
the way.
you're not a member of the South African National Editors Forum. Why are you not a member of the South
It's not
African?
compulsory to be a member of SARF. It's a
Is it a
voluntary
compulsory for you to then comply with the requirements of the South African Press Code?
Tshepo, I need to understand why you are sitting in my office today. Why are you here? What's your business?
I speak to the editor, and that's the one that I need
How
to
would
speak
you
to.
how would you like me to help you then? Don't come here and ask me a list of questions. What do you want? What's your complaint? Is this your complaint that our story is inaccurate?
I'm not complaining that the story is inaccurate.
So
I
why
haven't
are you here to
mentioned
ask me
any
questions?
complaint.
Why are you here to ask
I
me
am
questions?
asking you a question, you as the editor. Would
I'm
you
not
say
going to
that your
answer it.
stories comply with the South African National, the South African Press Code?
Tshepo, I'm not going to answer your question
Because
if you
when
don't
I
tell me
arrived
why
here,
I'm here.
I asked that, can I please have
You said,
a
could you
copy,
please record our conversation and
which
I
I'm
said yes.
recording now,
And I said
which
yes.
shall be posted online,
No, you can't.
because maybe today it is the good opportunity to edit the editor. So I would like to know from the editor, the top man in Business Day, that would you say, would you say that your stories comply with the requirements of the South African Press Code?
Tshepo, unless otherwise told, so there's a process through which that happens. We take all necessary precautions here to make sure that our stories are solid, okay, and are compliant with the code. When someone who's mentioned in a story is unhappy with it, they make representations to us, which is what I would expect of you. If we are in error, and we've done this before, we publish a correction, that's one. The second part of the process, if there's a dispute between ourselves and the person who's raising a complaint because they were in a story, they take the matter to the ombudsman. The ombudsman makes a ruling. We bind ourselves by the decisions of the ombudsman. You're sitting here asking me questions, you're not telling what your complaint is. That's undermining and condescending, and I don't like it. You now need to start talking and tell me what your complaint is. If you can't tell me why you're here, I will ask you to leave.
Mr. Zibi, I am not condescending.
If you
And
can't tell me
not-
why you're here,
you
Tshepo,
do
I'm going
not
to ask you to
have
leave.
to like what I'm saying.
No, you
Now
don't. But
I
you
have
don't. You don't
this
have.
is
I
Mr.
want-
Mangaze.
Yes, sir.
I understand Mr. Mungazi is a Zimbabwean national.
Sam, I'm not going to answer this
Why
question.
would
and
that
you
have
don't
a
answer
bearing?
the
I
question.
understand that he's a
And you don't-
Zimbabwean
and you
national.
don't- And
Yes,
you
I
don't
am.
answer the question either.
How long have you been in South Africa?
Don't answer that question, Sam. Sam, do not answer this question. This man here, this man
And
against
Mr.
whom
Mr. Mungazi,
Tshepo,
can you please
very
tell
serious
me
allegation.
what is your
Say very
relationship with Mr. Damesh?
No, please.
Now we
We've
see
been through that
Now
one.
we see
We've
where
been
you're
through
going
that
with
one.
that.
Tshepo, don't come here and waste our time.
I'm asking a
Tshepo,
question.
don't come
What is
here
your
and waste our
relationship
time.
with
We've got a
Mr.
newspaper
Damesh
to
Kgadima?
publish. Don't answer that question, Sam. We've been through that. We've been through that issue.
You have not been through that.
I
with me, I'm
have.
asking.
I have.
What is your relationship and what is your
Sorry,
involvement
are we going
in
to-
the collapse
are
of
we
the
going to have a
market
different
cap
conversation with
of
this? I'm
Pinnacle
going to call
Group?
security to remove this man or both of you.
You must do what it is that you feel is right.
Tshepo,
But that is
Sam-
not in the
Sam-
international
Sam-
interest.
I am
I'm sorry
asking
to share
a
with
Sam-
simple
no,
question
one,
from
guys.
the editor.
Guys.
I am asking a question from
Do
Mr.
whatever you have to
Mungazi.
do.
Mr.
Whatever-
Mungazi,
do whatever
what
you have
is
to do.
your involvement
Sharon, can you
in the
concentrate?
collapse of the
Concentrate.
market share of Pinnacle Group?
Sam, go to your desk. Tshepo,
Okay, but
Ranisha,
for the-
whoever your name is, get out of my
For
office.
the record.
Take whatever steps you need to take. If you're not prepared,
The steps
sit
that I
here
am
and have a
taking, I am
respectable
seeking
conversation.
answers from the editor of the Business Day and the journalist concerned, Sam Mungazi. I'm asking you, what is your relationship and what is your relationship in the interwaste matter?
No, but that's has
What
no
is
bearing
your
on-
relationship in the EnviroSafe matter?
But that has no bearing on you, Mr. Kgadima.
Well,
If you want
you
to
are
speak
the
to-
deputy editor.
Yeah, if you want
Please
to
tell
speak to
me
us about the
that if
relevance-
you're refusing for your journalist to go and answer a question, I'm asking a very simple question. And the question that I'm asking of you, ma'am, you
Yeah.
tell me is that what is the involvement of Mr. Mungazi in the collapse,
this is crazy.
in the 1 billion rand?
Sharon,
It has no bearing on
it
our
has
questions
absolutely
to you.
no bearing our questions to
We
you.
said we were
I am
very
here.
happy to
Taking the
speak
I
to
am,
you.
I am
You've
here,
taken the former-
I am
Have you
here,
swindled the former
I am
minister or
here
not?
to ask questions of you which I need you to answer. You are the
Actually, no, you
editors,
don't.
you
No,
are the
you
top
don't- you
people.
don't- you don't get
Well,
to
I'm
ask
sorry,
us
sir.
questions,
No.
We said
Tshepo.
we'd
You
really like to
leave,
put questions
actually.
to you.
I am
We'd like your
here
side of
to
the
ask
story.
questions of the two of you, the two top people in this organization. Please answer the question. This question that still remains unanswered by you was,
What?
is every story that you publish in compliance with the South
We
African
make
Press
every
Code?
effort to do that.
I asked, that's not the question I asked. The question
That's
I asked,
my answer.
I didn't say that do you make an effort. I asked you, are your stories compliant with the South African
I'm
Press
sorry, sir.
Code?
We wanted to speak to you to get comment on a series
We
of
will get to
articles.
that, but
No, I'm
the
sorry,
foundation
you can't
of
come in
our
here.
the foundation of our discussion is simply that.
No, the
Would you
foundation of our
say that
discussion
our
is that-
would you say that
No,
your
the
stories
foundation is you the
are your
subject of
stories
interest.
compliant? That's a question that you need to answer. You are the editor,
make
you are the
every
deputy
effort.
editor.
We make
I
every
didn't ask you
effort.
if you make an effort. I'm asking you,
No,
are you
I'm sorry.
compliant? And if you are not compliant, can you please tell me why you are not compliant?
Sorry.
And
Our
in the
discussion is not
instances,
about the press
in the
code.
instances where you have not, no, you operate under the press code. Please help me understand how you comply. Please help me.
I'm very sorry. You are actually diverting from what we want
No,
to
there's no
speak to you about.
diversion.
Yes, there's a
There
complete
is
diversion.
absolutely no
We made it
diversion.
very clear the
I am
entire
here
review.
to
Can I
ask.
finish?
I am here to ask a question. Your stories, are they compliant?
We wanted comment from you. We were hoping.
And
your
then what is the
parents
comment
here
about?
Would comment on the allegations against you as the new.
We will
head
get
chair-
to that.
SA chairman.
We will get to that.
No,
What
you
we need to
why
know
do
now.
we- why don't you
What
want
we
to answer our questions?
No, we have time. You
No, we
answer the
don't
questions.
actually. Sorry, we're on deadline.
You're on
We're
deadline.
on deadline every
Then
day.
the quicker
We
you
need-
answer the question that has been asked of you, as the second most senior person in terms of editorship, I'm asking you once again, will you say that the stories that you publish, every word, does it comply with the requirements of the South African Press Code?
Nobody can make an absolute statement like that.
Why can nobody make an absolute statement like that?
Nobody can absolutely.
What is the reasons?
journalism is not an exact science. So I'm sorry, like I said, we do not want to discuss
Now,
the
when you
craft
say
of
that journalism
with
is
you.
not an exact science,
We do
under
not
what
want to discuss the craft of
circumstances,
journalism.
under
No,
what
sorry, sir.
circumstances would
You know,
journalism
you
not
say
be an
what?
exact science?
I'm sorry.
Well, we are here at the offices of the editor of the Business Day, Mr. Zongezo Zibi, and he's got these 3 security guards that are here to attempt to move us out of the office. Mr. Zibi has walked out. Him and Mr. Mungadze have failed to answer the question. So did the deputy editor of Business Day. They failed to answer a basic question, which is a minimum requirement of their trade. The trade of journalism, a sacred trade for that matter. So we are therefore,
You
it
cannot
means
sit in our
that
office
they have
and
failed,
communicate. Would you please
they
sit
have
down?
failed in every
No,
respect
they-
to be able
Nobody knows
to
what
answer
they are.
the question that has been asked. So you can take all the pictures that you want to take, but the question has not been answered. Mr. Zibi, in his capacity as the editor of the
Can you remove
the
this slide?
paper has not been,
Please,
and all of that to say, will you remove him?
physically remove this slide.
Well, that's, we have it, and then I am happy that Mr. Zibi, who's right here, has failed, and he feels that strong arm tactics are the only measure he has. Instead of him arguing
Can I-
and explaining in terms of the requirements of his job,
I'm going to say
what
I'm going to
has
say one
he
thing.
done?
Can I say one thing to you?
Yes,
Tshepo,
please say it, I'm
you have
listening.
not answered a single question that
You-
our reporter asked.
we
you have
ask
not
of
answered
you-
your phone.
we
you have
ask
not
of
answered your
you-
phone.
we
Where
ask
the
of
former
you-
ambassador to London
we
of this
ask
country
of you-
accusing you of swindling him out of money.
ask
We've
of
got
you-
people in Limpopo.
we
We've got
ask of
people
you-
there that you claim to be in business
we
with in
ask of
Zimbabwe.
you-
We've spoken to the Department of Mineral Resources. You refuse to
Before
answer any
we
of those
get
questions.
there,
You
I
come
am
to my office,
asking
you cause
you
a circus.
simple question.
Because
and
you
again,
refuse to
I'm
answer any of those
asking about the
questions,
relationship
I'm asking these gentlemen
between, I'm
to
asking the
remove you so that we
relationship
can work.
between
Okay.
your journalist,
Sorry,
Mr.
sir.
Mungadze, as well
Please go.
as,
Please go.
well,
Please go. Please
those
go.
strong arm tactics, they will not work.
We-
I am
please-
asking you
please leave
one
his office.
more
Trespassing
question.
now.
There is no trespassing.
Take pictures. For a
Yes, you can-
chairperson
you
of a
can
parastatal
take-
in this country, you behaving
Yes,
strange.
For you as the editor of a business daily who fails to answer basic questions, and I need to know what happened with Pinnacle Group that lost a billion rand. Please tell me about that.
Sorry, boss man, we can't.
For someone who's been appointed the chairperson of a parastatal in this country, you behaving
We just
extremely-
no. You as the editor who's using strong arm tactics, you have failed in your position as an editor, because by using strong arm tactics, it clearly shows that you have failed to answer basic questions. So here we
Take it
are
from me, yeah.
at the offices of Business Day, and all the staffers are here, and there are strong arm tactics that have been used. Mr. Zibi, who has failed to answer a question, they believe that by trying to take all these pictures and everything else, we will be. Now, Mr. Mungadze,
Sorry.